we're gonna pop up that new link so I can copy and paste it in this chat.
Okay, I just clicked it live. It's just. Let me see. Unmuted. Hello, everybody. We should now be working. How is everyone? We're gonna have to do an audio check because everything broke. Literally, like everything broke. YouTube broke. Wouldn't let us stream. We fixed that. Hopefully, fingers crossed. And then now Joe's mic's broken. So, yeah, I can't hear you, Joe.
I'm just winding you up. I'm just winding you up.
Are you kidding me? Okay. God damn it. Okay, so hopefully everyone can hear everyone. Do you want to say something, Kev? This is Kev, by the way. We'll introduce him in a second. Just make sure his mic's working.
Yeah, everybody can hear us now.
Yeah, okay, cool.
I'm looking in the chat and
turn you up just a tiny bit. Okay. So in the chat, guys, if you want to just let us know if everyone sounds okay, who to turn up, who to turn down. Oh, I've got that on screen. Turn that off.
Gary does say sound is good.
Sounds good. Perfect. Okay, so yeah, the guest today is Kev from the Thrifting Lounge. If you don't know him, he's from the United States of America. So we've got him on today to discuss the differences between the UK and the US in terms of reselling. So if you want to just introduce yourself, Kev, to everyone in chat.
Hey, how are you? I'm Kevin from the Thrifting Lounge. I've been reselling for about 15 years, hardcore for about the last 2 years. I took about a 5-year hiatus. Before that, I was full-time also. Looking to go full time in about 25 days. I have my countdown. I'm going to be quitting my full income, full time job. And me and my girlfriend will be doing, both of us will be doing full time. So instead of 40 hours a week, we'll be doing 80 hours a week. And also I have a New Year's resolution to try Amazon out this year. I'm very stubborn. I've always been stubborn when it came to Amazon, but people always tell me, man, you're good with numbers. You'd be great with Amazon. So I think I just bought a few things today for Amazon. So hopefully, whenever I get my security code in so I can start selling stuff, I'll sell stuff really quickly. That's the whole point of it.
What was the reason you never did Amazon? Just didn't want to dip your toes, or?
I always just felt like it was a Ford or Chevy. Like Amazon, eBay. There's so much to learn. There's so much time involved in learning each one of them. I've probably spent, I say 20,000 hours makes you a professional at something. And I feel like I'm probably there when it comes to reselling on eBay.
Yeah.
So now I want to, my girlfriend can still do full-time eBay. I want to gear more towards Amazon a little bit more. Not my full 40 hours a week, maybe a good 10 hours to start. Because I want to be able to make quick flips, buying and sell that stuff. And I was having this conversation with a guy a few days ago, and he really motivated me to start selling it.
I'm not too sure how bad it is in the USA, but I know that in the UK it's really hard to get ungated for a lot of things on Amazon, like gaming products, things like that.
I'm hoping I heard that too. That stinks, I know. But it's something I'm going to have to work through. And that's something that when I'm determined to do something, I do the best I can.
Dude, I don't know whether I'm going to ever do Amazon, to be honest, because, like, what can you even send? Can you, like, does secondhand stuff do well on Amazon as well? Or is it mainly brand new stuff? Because I just see everyone sending, like, brand new sealed, and I very rarely get that, so I don't know whether I'd even be able to.
I will say that a secondhand Nintendo Wii with one controller, no games in the box, can go for £70 on Amazon.
Yeah.
Secondhand.
Yeah, that's a big plus. Like being able to fit a bunch of stuff into one box and just send it out, which is super cheap. To me, that is just, it's huge. No lift. And me and my girlfriend the other day, I said, man, this year I want to go and travel around the country. And if we do pick up on Amazon, we can literally go from town to town, buy stuff, ship it while we're in that town, and just let the money come in, without having to hold on to any inventory while we're traveling.
The problem is with that, you actually need to barcode every single individual item before you actually send it off, so you still need to take it back and process it with, say, like a Dymo 450, and actually give them all their own individual barcodes to actually go up to Amazon.
Yeah, but then you don't have like the stock room, like you can use that for something else, or
that's true.
You can if you fill your stock room for eBay, you can then still grow your business by shipping off to Amazon FBA. But I don't know.
I'm looking at doing it, but I'm looking at doing it if I can sell Funko Pops, toys, and video games, because that is what I want to sell through Amazon. I will be starting Amazon this year because I don't want to keep all my eggs in one basket at the moment. I'm putting a lot of effort into eBay. Again, a lot out of eBay. But what if eBay fails? What if eBay goes down next week? I'm at the job. It is my full-time income.
That's
I don't want it to happen.
What other platforms 100%, do you have?
I agree.
I was just going to ask what other stuff you had. Go ahead.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Oh, you guys can't always leave your eggs in one basket, because what happens if you get hit with the VERO on eBay? You're done for the week, and that's your full-time income.
That's
what are you going to do for a week? You have no income for the week, man. That's going to mess everything up for you. So for me, that's why I'm like, all right, if I'm going to do this full-time on eBay, I need to try to do other eggs in a basket while I'm doing that to build that other inventory up. And I have a huge support system around me. I have a lot of friends that are professionals on Amazon who can help me out. And but it's just the fact that, I'm on Macari, Depop, Grailed, just signed up with Goat and StockX because I want to do some flipping from like the Nike outlet stores with shoes. This year I want to try everything out. You know, everyone says, you know, don't have too many eggs in a specific or everywhere, kind of like a spider web, because sometimes you can get confused or whatever. But for me, it's like I need to see what's working before I jump in full time. So I have like 30 days to try this stuff out. So for me, it's like I want to try out the StockX, I want to try out the Goat, I want to try flipping shoes also while I do eBay. I mean, I already have 1,400 items in my inventory. Plus, we went out and picked about 200 more items for the week. So nothing's going to change on eBay. My thing is I want to ramp up other places. So I have other sources of multiple streams of income, because that's very important nowadays. Specifically, like I see the future going where a lot of these big box stores are going to come on our turf and resell pre-owned stuff, which a lot of us do. Is a pre-owned, that's our living. So what you need to do is think ahead of time. You don't want to be caught like a lot of these five and dime, you know, back in the old school days before Walmart took them out of business, you know, because they can adapt to times.
I really disagree. I think due to Corona, I think high street shops aren't going to be reselling at all anymore. I think a lot of shops are going to be closed down. They're going to be turned into different things, maybe restaurants, maybe storehouses, places like that. But a lot of the shopping, I think, is going to transform to the internet. So people are going to be shopping on the internet because it's easier. During the lockdown periods, people here in the UK they found it easier to shop online. And I, for one, as a reseller, went full time because of it. And it really, really ramped up in my sales. I went from £2,000 months to some months I hit £10,000. So I'm actually on break at the moment because I don't want to go over a VAT bracket over here. But yeah.
Are you able to bring up his mic? Because I'm having a hard time hearing him on my end.
Yep. You could turn him up on your end, by the way. If you right click his photo and there's a little volume slider.
Yeah, I'm maxed out with his volume.
Yeah, me turning him up's not gonna do anything for you.
I'll see if I can switch my microphone. Just let me know which one works.
Okay, sorry about that. Sick love lamps, thank you.
Oh. How's that one?
Oh my god,
that's
so
perfect.
loud.
A lot better. I can hear you perfect now.
There we go.
Now I have to turn you right down because that's so loud. Okay. Let us know in chat, guys, if his volume's okay. Yeah, what I was going to ask, how do you source in America? Obviously, in the UK, a lot of resellers source with charity shops like thrift stores and CARBOOT sales, which are like your flea markets. If you can just kind of go over some of the stuff you have over there, because terminology and stuff's different and how stuff works over there is a little bit different to the UK.
Well, so for us, I've always been thrifting. A big part of my business is estate sales. I like to go on the last day after 12 o'clock when everything is half off, and just clean them out. And then yard sales, just about everywhere. I mean, I know you guys have the CARBOOT sales, which are all really cool. So like estate sale, thrift stores, little retail arbitrage, garage sales, or yard sales, which are, and I don't really do much at the flea market because they're priced accordingly to retail over here. They're not, and this is Florida, so they're not dumb where they're gonna price everything full blown out where I can just go in and buy a whole lot, you know, the whole bundle of it. It's not like that over here. They're very expensive. They're a lot of times retail plus, so I don't bother with really much with the flea markets. But we do have big flea markets where we have people from out of state that come down. Those are the times I go into the flea markets because that way they're more apt to haggle because they don't want to go back back to their other state with all their inventory.
Yeah. Would you say that a flea market was the same as our? Oh, would you say a flea market over there is what our CARBOOT sale over here is, or would you liken our CARBOOT more to like garage sales when people just do it at their own home?
I would liken your CARBOOT to more of like, what are they called?
Swap meet.
Yeah, exactly. Yes.
Okay.
100%. Yeah. Yeah. Although I find, man, we should bring CARBOOTs over here because I think that is so cool. You just go, you bag up and open up your trunk and you're good to go.
What would you call it though?
You would get better deals that way.
What would you call it? You couldn't call it a car boot. You don't have boots. You have trunk.
Man,
trunk sale.
Junk in the trunk.
A Junkin trunk.
Junk in the trunk.
Come down to Junkin trunk. Sorry, that was probably offensive to people. Sorry about that. Whoopsie. Moving on. Yeah, that'd be really cool if you could do something like that over there, because you guys don't seem to have. Like, I watch people. Who is it? The guy that picks up all the trash on the side of the road. Oh, I forgot his name.
Taco Flip?
Yeah, that's it. I watch him, and he goes to the flea market, but it is set up kind of like a car boot, but different, because it's more like antique-y kind of professional sellers that go there a lot.
That's exactly what I was saying about the flea market. Yeah, they're professionals, man. They're not like when I grew up and you go to a flea market where you actually had all those antiques and you were picking up for a couple bucks. Nowadays it's retail, because they didn't have eBay when I grew up. They didn't have eBay in the mid to early 90s, so it was just straight. They had no clue how to price these items, so they didn't know that a lot of the antiques and stuff are worth hundreds of dollars. They would price it 10-15 bucks and that's it, and be happy with what they got for it, you know.
I think we've got the same problem here at the moment with the charity shops, really. Obviously charity shops do sell on eBay as well. I don't know if Goodwill shops and thrift stores, I don't know if they also sell on eBay as well, but over here the charity shops start to sell on eBay, and they start to price obviously not at eBay prices, because I do think they understand that with eBay there comes fees, there comes postage and stuff like that, but like 20% under eBay prices. They tend to price that at a lot of charity shops at the moment. That's what we've noticed.
So we actually have a thing at the moment where eBay's actively reaching out to our charity shops to teach them, like they're sending people to charity shops to teach them how to list on eBay. So we are getting like higher prices in stores as well, because they're obviously learning what stuff goes for as well on eBay, which is kind of frustrating. But I mean, if that's what they have to do to stay afloat, then we can't really complain. But
I always say, you guys are thrift stores for a reason. You guys get donations, plus you guys get tax write-off. Like I don't know about how it is over here, but over here it's tax written off. Like you whatever you make over here, and if you're a donation center, man, they're not paying anything, maybe besides a little bit of rent, but that's it.
Yeah.
You know, and I don't see that as fair. I mean, we're doing the hunting. They already found the stuff. They can always go on eBay and sell it and not put it in their store. And the issue is that when I started on eBay, I started on YouTube 10 years ago, you know, and learning from and being on videos with, you know, Hearts Pickers, or if you know Steve Rakin, all the what they call OG thrift YouTubers, we knew eventually these Goodwill stores and Salvation Armies were going to catch on. We knew that they're going to watch our videos, because what was happening is then we were picking up sport jackets and blazers up, we'll just say, okay, for like $5 a pop. And then all of a sudden you saw a switch from the top. The 4 years I was doing YouTube hardcore, you started seeing the switch. You started seeing where people were actually telling us, these people are watching your videos. So they're now starting to price at what you're telling them in your video. So technically we were our own worst enemies.
You were educating them.
And that is something I wish we never did, because we would now I have blazers and suits. You go into Goodwill, unless it's half off, I won't touch them, because $15 for a jacket. Now $15 for a blazer 5 years ago was $5, right? $15 now, so 3 times what it was before. And then the suits were $10. Now they're $30 an hour. And it's like,
I've just had a little look here. Charity shops do get some tax concessions, as shops' profits will go to the charity. Public provides benefit. They don't pay VAT, and they get 80% mandatory non-domestic relief. So I'm assuming they actually have to pay tax on 20% of their profit, or what they turn over. I'm not too sure.
Yeah. So the thing is, though, like, you say that you shouldn't have done it, but then if you didn't do it, someone else would have made the videos. So
yeah. Well, now I see there's a guy in South Florida who, not South Florida, sorry, West Palm Beach. He works at He used to be a full-time thrifter, and then Goodwill gave him a good payday to literally, when he gets his donations in, to source for them. So he gets an hourly rate from them just to sort. So, and I remember watching a video, and he's like, "You guys still have stores?" And it's like, dude, you just picked everything. There's no, and then because I specifically gone to that store, there's nothing there. And if it is, it's all in the boutique section.
So what's he doing? Is he pricing for them? Is he working as a pricer? Or
Exactly. Yeah, he's taking out the good stuff, pricing it for them, and they're putting in their boutique section.
What do they pay him to do that?
I don't know. It'd be nice to know, though.
Man,
he's
like
probably gave him some good first dibs on whatever
he's
you
like,
want, man, with whatever comes in.
He's like the Grinch that stole reselling. He's like, ruin it for everyone.
But that's only got to be in that one specific area. That's only one isolated area. I do know that my favourite charity shop, they do use eBay, but they don't overuse it. They still put a lot of stuff out on the store because they are a drop-off centre. So obviously, people will take their stuff to donate in bulk to this place, and then they'll arrange it to go into different shops. They'll put stuff on their own shop floor, and then they will list stuff on eBay as well. But they don't do like all of their CD players or anything like that. They don't. They all go straight onto the shelves. Games consoles go onto the shelves. I think the things they stick up on eBay are things you can't really like. I mean, say if somebody sent me an Xbox and I said, "Oh, it's got a red ring, it's broken, take it back." Things like that, because they're not testing them properly. They're only pack testing them, so they can't sell it as working. They can only sell it as spares or repairs. So they'll sell it as spares or repairs on the shop floor. I'll pick it up. I'll split it apart, even if it has got a red ring. I still make profit. It doesn't matter. But
I gotta give a shout out to Matt's CARBOOT discs. He mentioned Craigslist Hunter, Global Voodoo, and GilDaddy. GilDaddy and Gilmama, if you don't know them, Sarah and Dave Gilman, they're like the original YouTubers. They're great at selling parts when it comes to like vacuums, and now they do home goods. But they are absolutely killing it on their Spotify website. They're selling $4 unbranded lures, fishing lures, and they're crushing it. I think they made like $17,000 last month, and they advertised like $100,000 in advertising on Facebook last month alone. But they're like the smartest resellers I've ever met. They started out when making what is that called when you make your own products on Amazon? They started out. They're one of the originals when started out there, made money there. Now they're doing this, but they're one of my best friends. I've known them for 10 years. We both came up around the same time. Craigslist Hunter. I was before Craigslist Hunter. Craigslist Hunter actually. I have one of my first videos I did. He actually wrote in way before anybody knew who he was, and he was like, "Hey, this is Craigslist Hunter. I'm new. Please follow my channel." It was like, dude, you're spamming. This was a long time ago, man.
I was telling Joe, didn't you have? I was telling Joe before that you come on. Didn't you have Cincinnati Picker on your live show or something at one point?
He was on Golden Finger Picker. We used to have a weekly show back in the day.
That was it, yeah.
And that was the thing. Before there was any shows you guys made. It was Golden Finger Picker on Tuesday nights. It was me on Monday nights. Breaking in Green Room with Bonafide Hustler on Wednesday nights. And what it was we would always promote each other. So it was really great. We'd be on each other's shows, and ours, the one with Golden Finger Picker on that he had was amazing. The reseller meet and greet, it was called. We would have like 30 people on come and go at a time, just having a good time. And some of our best lives, unfortunately, Golden Finger Picker about a couple months ago, he privated all his videos. But if you watch the ones whenever he does feel like he unprivates them again, the ones from Christmas time and Halloween time where we all just get blasted, and it was just such a good small community, and I can't believe how big it's gotten since then, 5 years later. But that's where it all started. There was no lives. Like there's live that goes on maybe every single hour now. Before it was just 3 of us doing lives, and that was it.
See, I subscribed to Craigslist Hunter when he put up his first what was it called, when he goes in the dust bit, what's it called? Oh my god. You know, he dives dumpster
dive.
dive. That's it. Yeah.
Yeah.
He did his first dumpster dive. He had like 4,000 subs, 5,000 subs or something. Tiny channel, and for some reason it popped up. I wasn't even like doing reselling at the time. It was like 4, maybe 5 years ago. No, it was a long time ago.
Yeah.
And I subscribed. I was like, oh, I'd like to see another one of them. And then he literally didn't put another one of them up for like 3 years. It was just him in his shop, and I just watched ever since. And his channel just blew up from that. That one video basically made his channel, the dumpster diving one, ended up getting like a couple million views.
And that was before when he wrote on my video. That was way before he even had that many subscribers.
Yeah.
But I remember when I first started making YouTube videos, to started last year again. I wrote to him like, man, I was just scrolling through some of my old video comments, and I came across yours, man. I can't believe how much you blew up. We had a good talk about that, but it's so weird to see how little of us are still around.
How do you think?
Breaking does his own thing. Bonafide Hustler still makes the videos. Gil Money, they haven't made a video in about a year.
Yep.
But I talked to them. I talked to her last week because I was thinking about doing Amazon. So I always talk to them.
How would you say that your thrift stores in the US have changed, other than like what you've already spoken about, like in the last few years? Would you say the virus has changed stuff as well drastically? Because I think the virus over here has like completely changed how charity shops run in terms of the prices.
They made everything.
Stuff.
So what happened was, when we were having the virus ready to shut down Florida at the start of, I think it was March last year.
Yep.
We loaded up. Everybody I knew loaded up with inventory. And then also what we did was we all did our own Facebook marketplace advertising, saying, hey, it's people trying to get rid of their clothes, their used goods, we'll come by and pick them up.
Yep.
95% of that stuff was garbage. So a lot of that stuff I grabbed, went back, redonated when the stores were open.
Yep.
But when they did open back up, there was inventory for at least 6 to 8 months.
Really?
Now the inventory again starting to get scarce. And then so you're seeing, like, if you go into Goodwill, they're starting to price it like South Florida and Miami's pricing it. Every single piece of clothing, every single item is priced differently. It's no longer like where we have, if it was a t-shirts, it was $1.99. Now it's, depends on what it is, it's priced accordingly.
Yeah,
and that's why I think they're really going to kick themselves in the butt with that.
I have a few charity shops that everything is like board games £1, puzzles £1.50, mugs, cups 99p, 50p. All the other ones are accordingly, like they'll put different prices. I think that's when the prices start creeping up, because instead of it stagnating at the one price fits all kind of thing, they're like gradually going up and up and up the more they learn. But yeah, ours actually, I would say ours did the opposite, because we had a thing where like they had to put stock in quarantine, like when they reopened. So like they reopened, everything sold out because everyone was back at the charity shops, and then any stock that they did get in had to sit in the back room for like, what was it, 3 days before they could put it out. So you'd get this thing where like you'd go in and like 2 days in a row there'd be nothing, and then they'd put all of that stock that had been in like quarantine for 3 days out, and then you'd come like 2 hours later and it would all be picked through straight away. So then you're like waiting again for the new stock to come out. So yeah, it's kind of weird. But your thrift stores over there are like 10 times the size of our little charity shops over here, so it's kind of mad. I talk
to Tom the Picker every now and then. He's one of these old school guys too that he started making his YouTube channel around the time I left in 2016.
Yep. And
he was that's exactly what he said back then, was the same exact thing. Is like, you guys have all the good pickings, you have no clue how good it is for reselling here. And I know the areas I live between Orlando and Tampa, so I have the luxury of going. And plus, I know the ins and outs of Brevard County, which is the Space Coast where Cape Canaveral is. So if I need to go somewhere to pick up inventory, I'll either go to West Palm Beach, to Melbourne area, which is north of that, or I'll go to Tampa or Orlando. So for me, it's I've been real lucky to learn the East Coast and the West Coast of Florida because I'm from the East Coast of Florida. I've made the transformation out here to the central West Coast. Then everything in between, I already knew about what's in Orlando or the stores in Orlando. So once you get more experience in your area, and then you start going outside your perimeter, right?
Yep.
Then you're able to say, hey, hon, you want to take a weekend trip? Let's go spend it up in North Florida, say. Let's see what they have to offer. Because in future, for me, it's always future. It's always work. Future references, let's go up to this spot. This spot was good for me last time. Let's go up here. 3 months later, North Florida or something. And now this year, what I want to do is go outside that area. I want to go outside of Florida. I've been to the North Carolina area, South Carolina. I want to try Charlotte. I've done the west side of North Carolina, and it's not good. It is not as good in anything in here in Florida. But I've heard Charlotte, North Carolina is really good. Yeah. So that's one that's definitely on my playlist. But I think when you get around, because our thrifts are different in the South compared to if you're in the North. In the North, you get those items that I love: the ski equipment, snowboard equipment, the winter wear, like jackets and stuff. Down here, we get that, but it's scarce. But if you went up north, man, I'd be making so much money by doing that.
See, that's weird, like you saying that, because I don't think we have that kind of like cut off in the UK because we're so small. Maybe if you went up to Scotland, you might get some more like wintry, rather than seasonal clothing up there. I'm not really sure, but I'm pretty sure you could go anywhere in the UK and the charity shop stuff's going to be fairly similar. You're not going to have like that one area that has like snowboards and stuff because we just don't need that here. But yeah, I'm pretty sure
it's not like that down here.
I'm pretty sure like the UK could like fit inside Florida, maybe Texas or something like that. So that your road trip you could do across America, like you could just hire like a massive truck and just spend like a month like driving through states sourcing. I presume there's no like laws against doing that, like picking stuff up and bringing it back.
No, I have Double Dog Treasures. He's another YouTuber. He is one of the smartest resellers I know. I met him on the Buffalo Picker channel, and we had a long talk afterwards. And I'm going to be hitting him up soon because I need some more business advice. But what he does is, if he finds a estate sale across the country, he will sight unsee, buy it out, right? He'll fly out there, and he'll either send it to all the auctions in that area, or he'll get it all boxed up in a semi and have it hauled back to Maryland.
That's bad.
He did that in Arizona for Kenner Sports. I guess they closed down like a big warehouse. He bought it all sight unseen, flew out there, and he had it on he paid a semi like in the area, and then they haul it back to Maryland. And he's like, man, I made like $100,000 off that deal. Jesus. And that's the stuff I'm talking about. There's so much money in reselling, and there's not any right way of doing it. Like, it's not any like, hey, if I told you to do this, do it, or else nothing else works. No, you can do anything you want with reselling because it all works. You can do Amazon. You can do, even if you go to thrifting in a store, you can have different niches. For me, I'm just good at finding everything inside of a store, even Chinaware, or even Afghan blankets, stuff like that. It's just, I look at reselling is the only thing, because I have ADD. So the way I work is touch, feel, hands-on, learn by typing in what it is, and then it just stays in the. For some reason, I'm very good with recalling things. So little things that I see that out of the ordinary that looks like, oh, I think I've sold this before. Boom, it just sticks to you. It's like a word bank in the back of your head. It just stays there and just. So whenever you come across something like that, you're like, okay, I know what I'm looking for. Is this the right one? And sure enough, all you need is a couple of the keywords to say, okay, whether it's like Limoges Chinaware, Limoges platter, gold gilt trim, boom, and then you see what pops up in the solds.
Yes, I have something pretty similar to that where I always say, like, if it's cheap, I'll pick it up just because even if it's a bad buy, like, I'll learn from that bad buy a lot more than if I stand there in the shop and search it up on eBay and see if it's a bad one. Like, I'll forget looking it up on my phone in like 2 weeks. Whereas if I physically purchased it, took it home, searched it up at home, and then thought, that's actually not worth it, I'll remember that for like 6 months. And then I won't pick it up again. So I find that like maybe that thing actually exists where it's like in the back of your head, like stored there for a longer time, like for actually doing it.
I think we're having an issue with the Closet Geek because he's trying to talk, I think, and I can't hear him.
Is your mic broken?
Yeah, we can't hear him.
Oh, he just sat there, been talking for the last 20 minutes.
You may want to unplug your headphones because it seems like when you had them plugged in, or come out or leave.
We can hear you, but you're very quiet.
Yeah, he's trying to talk and we can't hear him.
I can't hear you. So while he's trying to fix his mic, let's read some stuff from the chat. Clay said that Texas, the UK would fit inside Texas 2.8 times. That's so crazy.
Texas is huge. That's one place I definitely want to go out there because
the thing is, though,
my buddy Brian.
Sorry, I was just gonna say, like with the size of something like the UK is like really tightly packed. Like I'm guessing Texas is a lot of like empty space, right? It's so big. There's got to be like just nothing there in certain places, right?
Yeah, but there's also you got the cities like you got Austin, you got Fort Worth, you got Dallas, you got all these big banger places, man, that you can just make a living off of. Like I know, what's his face? He's one of the biggest YouTubers for reselling. He lives in Houston. He crushes it with just t-shirts. You know, so and I think that's what's good. Anybody that has a specific niche, and I always talk to people, well, what do I sell? Sell what you know. If you know t-shirts, if you know style, like young kid style, you start with that and then go from there. For me, I took from 3 niches. Cindy Sorley told me learn 3 niches, learn the ins and outs, and then start buying it. For me, it was Afghan blankets, number 1. Number 2 was vintage and new clothing, and number 3 was sport jackets and blazers and suits. Right? I learned the crap out of those, and now I to the point where like I can go in a store, pick it, and know exactly what I'm going to sell for. Like without even looking at, with like grabbing it and knowing, oh, okay, this is going to sell for. When you start getting that good, then you can start looking at other niches if that's your thing. For me, a lot of people like what's called niche down, which is just stay with one specific niche.
So he's just trying his mic. Say it again, Joe.
Yeah, just seeing if I'm working. That's all.
It is working. I don't know. It's like swapped mics or something. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I'm on my boom mic now.
Okay. Well, that works. So we keep on that.
Yeah, he needs a.
Joe's mic is now working.
The volume up again.
I turned him up.
Wait, is it working?
You might have issues hearing him if you can't hear him.
What about that?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you
perfect now.
I can hear you perfect. Yeah, no problem.
Cool.
I don't think that. I think if you have a niche, you're kind of tying yourself down though. I don't think like having a niche is something you want to do. I think you should work on every category you can. I've obviously built my business, started on video games, and I felt like I've come to the end of that, and I'm moving on to antiques, I'm moving on to clothes. I think if you diversify and you go into all of these different subjects, you're not going to become an absolute expert on every single one of these subjects, but you're going to have a base level knowledge, and you're going to be able to go into a charity shop, and instead of spending 10 minutes at the gaming section, you could spend an hour in the same charity shop because you're looking at everything else. Even if you're not researching it, I don't research in charity shops anymore. I go in, I kind of feel like I've got a bit of a knowledge what I'm looking for. I know if I'm looking at China wear, I'm not going to buy anything that's unbranded, nothing that hasn't got marks on it. I know if I'm looking at clothes, I'm looking at brands. I know if I'm looking at video games, that this game's worth nothing, these games are worth something. And I think that if you diversify and you sort of like split your time between what you were doing, you're definitely going to become a better reseller. I want my business to be worth £1 million in 2 years' time, and it's going to be worth that.
I agree 100%. I know. So I have my girlfriend in Daily Refinement, Chris's group. He says, niche down, which is fine and great because it's all about how many listens you can get done in an hour, right? That works. But for me, it's like my brain. I don't want to be just stuck down on one niche. then it goes again hand in hand with what works from him may not work for everybody else.
Exactly,
So,
yeah.
but you know, and to me, it's like, okay, I can niche down to jeans and sell jeans all day long and make $20, $25 off each pair. Or I could still do that just as well as I do and still keep doing what I want and still average my 56, because I average $56 a sale on each item that I sell.
How much?
I just can't niche down.
What was
But
your
he
average?
makes a good point, because if you do a subject that you're not familiar with, it's going to take you more time to research that subject. It's going to take you longer to list it, because you have all those freaking item specifics now on eBay, which is insane. But in a way, he's correct. But for me, I just can't. I can't see. There's a huge benefit for that, but I can't do that.
I agree with
I'm
you there.
self-taught. I'm old school, and I'm very stubborn.
What did you say your average sale price was? Sorry.
$56 in a sale.
That's
I
good.
think mine's £19, which would be about like $24.
So for me, how I learned was Ronnie Hart from Hart's Picker told me. He taught me the perfect way. He is like my mentor. He said to me, when you start learning, because I said one day to him, I said, man, I started out, like you said, $15, $20. Now I'm up to 30. And he's like, that's going to happen. I said, why? He says, because you have a better eye at buying things now. So you're picking things up cheaper, and you're looking for an average of $35 instead of before you're looking for 15, 20, buying almost everything you wanted to. That's going to take even more time. Whereas if you look for a sweet spot and you just keep working up from there. I think Ronnie Hart, I talked to him last week, his average per sale now is like $90 freaking dollars. $90 a sale.
That's mad.
But he's lucky because a lot of his customers come specifically because they watch his store. And this is one thing that is one of the most, and I'm going to tell you guys a secret here, one of the most underused pieces of advice I can give is that the bigger you keep growing your store, the more people are going to hit that save button on your store to save your store, right? So whenever they say they need, like, hey, I need a pair of Levi's jeans. Well, I know this store Kevin has, he's always loaded up with Levi jeans. Let's go buy from there. So like that's how I am when I buy on eBay, and if I buy specific things, or I'll even use Instagram for this, I like to buy vintage NASCAR t-shirts. I go to one specific buyer because I know he's going to give me the best deal. He uses coupons, and I just like supporting him. You know what I mean? So one of the most underutilized is when you have people save your store. I think Ronnie has like 1,500 people that save his store. So when you're seeing you see people that are almost all of them are be-back customers. Those are the customers that are your bread and butter. Those are the ones you want. Those are the ones you want to focus on. The ones where they're going to come back to your store. You're going to get the new people that buy there, right? And then you're going to want the people that come back to your store to buy multiples, because that's going to make you even more money. You're going to take care of them more. And then also your customer service is going to help them out. So that's one of the most underutilized things so I talked to a couple people that are like, oh, I'm starting to get multiples. And I'm like, well, people are starting to save your business, your store. That's what you're seeing. Like I have people that save my store now that bought from me 10 years ago that message me, hey, do you have this? Or hey, if you have this, can you buy this and pick it up for me and I'll buy it at this certain price. I literally will go out and buy certain things because I have buyers that will buy those things. I know exactly how much I can pick them up for. And so the best thing when you have a buyer is that I hear in my Facebook group, the Thrifting Lounge, people always saying, hey, listen, I feel bad. I feel like I'm ripping this person off because I spent this little on it and sold it for this much. And I said, listen, this is how sales works. I've been in sales my whole life since I was 18 as a car salesman, now insurance agent. You have a product, you have a price on that product. As long as the buyer's happy, you should be happy.
I agree with you there, yeah. I do see a lot of stick on. Obviously, I know Jay hates them as well, but people who go off and buy the new PlayStation 5 and they'll double their money selling it on Marketplace and go to Christmas. I personally have a bit of respect for that. I know Jay hates it, but I do like that. And like you were saying about having people who do subscribe to your store, obviously I get a lot of people from YouTube who also, I find it sort of like a way of boosting my sales, but I don't really promote my eBay. I just show people what I do. But I do get people that message me off of there. I mean, I've only been reselling for less than 2 years. Less than 2 years. I've gone full time. I've got a warehouse now. Jay, I don't know how long Jay's been doing. How long?
About a year full time, just over a year now.
I've only been about since September full time. Yeah, since September I've been full time.
Now, I'll ask both of you guys this, right? How proud do you guys feel now? From where you started, whatever your situation, I don't know what your guys' situation was before reselling, but how proud and how much do you like what you do now compared to what you were doing before?
I love what I do, but
I'll let Joe
I
go
miss
first.
the speaking to real life people. With my previous job, I was a chef. And it was a busy atmosphere, and I was very good at what I did. I'm a very good cook, but yeah, it's just not financially viable for the future. I know that I can, like I said, I've got my goals. In 2 years' time, I want my business to be worth £1 million. That's what I'm gunning for. My business to be worth that much. I say that much is stock value.
Doesn't attaining those goals feel really good?
Yeah,
when you attain those goals, especially the unreachable ones.
My goal for this year was to turn over consistently £4,000 a month, and I consistently do 7,000. And obviously on good months, I've done 10,000. So I've had to close just to avoid going over a certain amount, so I don't actually have to pay extra to the government. But yeah, hopefully now we're not in the EU, like Jay was saying earlier.
Yeah,
VAT might change.
Yeah, they might scrap VAT. I'm pretty sure VAT was a European Union thing that came in. I think it was something else before that, and it was the rates were lower or something. I can't remember exactly. But yeah, for me, I find like from where I was a year ago to now, like it's crazy. Like I found it harder to get to like something stupid like £500 a month than it is now for me to get to like 3.3 grand a month. It's easier for me to do 3.5 grand than it was for me a year ago to get to 500. Like the improvements, the learning, all of that stuff. Just the knowledge. Like even looking back at like the videos I was making, like maybe March last year, just before everything went to, coronavirusville. Like some of the stuff I was picking up, it's like why was I even like picking that up off a table to think about picking that up, let alone actually paying for it. So yeah, it's just like with time you learn, and then my average sale price has gone up way, because I remember you messaging me, Kev, saying like, I've looked at your eBay store, you need to maybe have a look at your average sale price, and I did. I went and had a look, and it was something really like
and again,
low.
there's nothing wrong with whatever. If it's volume over, like Chris says, volume over average sale price, like he crushes it. Him and Tech, they crush it, and that's their business. But for somebody that has a full-time job, and my girlfriend does my eBay full-time, we did $6,300 last month. We bumped it 30% of what we did the month before. And a huge reason is because I kept getting that feedback from Brian. Obviously, Brian, Texas Treasures. And finally, I was like, man, I got to just join this group. I don't care if I have to pay for it. It's going to be a tax write-off, whatever. And it's going to be super beneficial for my girlfriend. Because another thing I think we have issues with sometimes that we get lazy sometimes. And like listen, our ambitions, it's hard for a normal average person just to stay focused every single day doing the same thing you do.
I agree.
What I found helpful is having other people that do the same thing talk to you every single day. And that's why I thought I saw a huge advantage of what Chris does. Daily Refinement does, because you're consistently talking about your goals. What are your goals today? What are you doing? What are you going to do to accomplish those goals? So when you have somebody that's going to hold you accountable, it's going to be easier for you to attain those.
What we've got as like an equivalent is Jay's Discord. I know it's not like the be all and end all of everything. It costs you nothing. Go on there, say, look guys, I picked up this video game. How do I find out how much it sold? And not one person on there is going to go, oh, you're a bit dumb, ain't you? All you got to do is check your solds. Obviously, if you're new, you're new. People don't know. People will just say, here you go, watch this little screen recording of how you check your solds. and then that item in specific will sell for this much. It's such a great group just to get knowledge. There's so much wealth of knowledge in there. There's people in there that do clothes. There's people in there that do antiques. There's people in there that do video games. So if you need to know something, there's how many people's in Discord, Jay?
Like just under 400 at the moment, I think.
400 people that'll give you an answer. 400 people, one of them.
Man, Jay, in my group, you should shout that out. You should put that link up for the Discord so you can start getting more of those subscribers. I have 30,000 people in my Facebook group.
The Discord link's in the description, yeah. I'll throw that in there at some point.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I always tell people, feel free to put that. If it's going to make you and other people better, and you're going to help people, and they're all going to help each other and have a good time, put it right in my group. I don't care.
Cool.
That's how it is, man. Like, we're all here. So when I first started selling reselling, and I started watching Steve Rakin and Golden Finger Picker and Gilman's, I didn't know how easy it was. I thought, man, these guys have a huge channel. Oh my God, they're not going to talk to me if I have questions. I found it so easy to just type to them, and they would say, hey, just come on a video and we'll show you what to look for. That's it. All you have to do is ask questions. No one, I think, is ever too big enough for their own britches on their YouTube channel.
I disagree.
You get a private conversation. Huh?
I disagree. I've spoken to some
YouTubers. The big players now. The big players don't want any involvement in the little guys. That's how I see it. But back then, there was no big players like there is now. So everybody was helping each other out.
Yeah, see, there is those big ones, but then there's certain ones that they never changed. Like, they were the same when they had 10 subscribers to when they had 20,000 subscribers, and they'll talk to everyone. That's why I have the Discord. Like, I don't want to ever like lose touch with people. It seems like counterproductive to get to like so many subscribers and then just like stop talking to people. It's like, why would you do that? I learned just as much from someone that has 0 subscribers as someone that has 100,000 subscribers. If they know what they're talking about, doesn't matter to me. Like, if they're like a big name or something.
I think if their content's relevant, I'm going to watch them.
Yeah.
Can I ask?
Me, I have a.
What's that Facebook group?
It's the Thrifting Lounge. The Thrifting Lounge, like my YouTube channel.
How many active listings did you say you had at the moment, Kev?
1368.
And what would
and
your
then
like sweet spot be? What would your like sweet spot be where you like aim to stay at or around or something like that?
I want to be more, man. More, you're gonna sell more.
You don't want a sweet spot. You
so
just
for
want
me,
to keep...
I want to be. If we went so halfway through the year, we had 800 listings. That took us about a year. So say let's go July, right? So July last year we had 800 listings. We did that in about a year. In 6 months, we're able to go from 800 to almost 1,400, while selling a lot more.
Yep.
While making more. Now I want to go from almost, I'll just say round off to 1,400 listings to 2,800 for this year.
You want to double?
Still, obviously, make more, keep my average sale price. You know, if I can raise my average sale price, that works. But I don't. The more you list, the more you're gonna sell. Like me and Brian, we talk about how many listings a day we're getting done, right? So I recently was just listing. She was listing, my girlfriend, 10 items a day.
How many?
Now we bumped it up 10 to 15. Well, now we just literally just skip 15. Now we're going 10 to 30 a day. So we're gonna do 30 a day, and there's no stopping. So that means I gotta get those. I gotta get 210 items a week. So 7 days times 3, 210 items a week. Figured going to the outlet, going to the bin where they charge you $139 per pound. Doesn't matter what you buy in that store. It's all at Goodwill and stuff. That could be great while we do the estate sales and stuff, and then we add the inventory up. So I figure we can get there. Once we get there, we should be able to double our income. So right now, if we did $6,300 last month for the month of December, by next year, we should be at 13,000. Consistent.
Yep.
Right? Plus Amazon, plus we sell on Depop, Grail, we sell a couple items a month on each one of those platforms, right? So my thinking is, and I'm a guy that for the longest time, like, oh, I don't want to work, in office. Now it's like, okay, So I dropped my $55,000 a year job for, what I'm doing on eBay. And then my girlfriend said to me, right, this I think was the final straw where I'm like, okay, I'm definitely going full time next month. I've been working from home since September. Now I work on a salary basically. I'm getting, my bonuses aren't as big as they were before. So, and I'm talking numbers here. I'm a numbers guy. So before, when I was working at my job and in the office, I was making about $4 to $5 grand a month. Since I've been in here since September, and I don't see it changing, I've dropped to $3 grand. That's including my week, right? My weekly paycheck. So I just got my 2-week check, not including my bonus, $423 for 80 hours a week. For 80-hour week, right? That's $8.69 an hour. Mm-hmm. $423 for 2 weeks. You can ask Texas Treasures. He's in the chat, and Clay. They were in the private chat. Jay, you used to be in with us.
Yep.
And I said, I literally did $460 in sales 2 days ago. Yesterday, I followed up with $300 in sales. I did 1 day what I did in 2 weeks at my job. And my girlfriend kept telling me, Kevin, if that's not a sign, I don't know what is to quit. Because I'm like, man, like I just been here for 4 years. I want to give that all up. It's unknown. And it's weird because like the way we process our brain is we get into habit, right? So for me is I got in a habit working at a job after not being in a habit of working at a job. So my brain was rewired. So now it's like, how do I rewire my brain? I used to be spontaneous so much 3 years ago when me and my kid's mom broke up. I was every day was spontaneous, doing whatever was going to make me uncomfortable. That was my saying. Do something that's going to make you uncomfortable so you can get comfortable at doing it, right? So my day-to-day life was living spontaneous, right? Now I live by a set, obvious schedule. I have a girlfriend. I got a house now, mortgage to pay. I don't live with a roommate anymore. So now it's more responsibility. So that's what I'm thinking. But then it's like,
I disagree with you there. I disagree with you. I genuinely think I was in the same position as you, where I had a job. I need to bring it home a certain amount of money, otherwise we're going to be out on the streets. But when I did quit my job and I went full time, that's when I noticed a noticeable difference. I didn't just like double the amount I was making a month because I'm putting double the amount of effort into it. I doubled the amount I made a month, grew out of the place where I was, moved into a warehouse, and then I've made even more than that. I mean, I went from, I literally think the only thing that's holding you down is you there, because if you feel like you're going to make more money going full time, but you're just a little bit worried. Obviously, January, February is a worrying time. I can tell you, Stacey, who works in the warehouse with me, he works alongside me. He pushed himself last year, got himself up to 2,000 listings. He's making £700 a day, and that's a bad day for him. £700 a day, that's what, $800, something like that. That's what he's on a day, just because that's all he does. 6 days a week, he turns up to work. He turns up at 9 o'clock in the morning. He leaves at 6 at night, and it's 6 to 8, anywhere between that time. And all he's doing all that day is listing and sourcing. And he'll go off at 8 o'clock, pick up all of these things for him to list the next day, or 6 o'clock, whatever time, because he has to go off to different part of wherever. But I think it's only you only get out of it what you put into it. I really do think that.
No, and the thing is with me is like I gotta rewire my brain to just say, "Quit, Kevin, quit."
Do it now. Ring him up
maybe
right
if I
now.
wake up every day from here for 24 more days, and I wake up and I look in the mirror and say, "Kevin, quit." Next day, Kevin, quit. Next day, Kevin, quit. I'm gonna rewire my brain to say, "Kevin, you're ready to quit. Just go. Just do it. Call up. Talk to your manager. Let them know what's going on. Tell them you'll be here until you find a replacement. Then you're done."
It's exactly
because
what
I have so much plans. I want to be able to go back to where I have business cards, hand them out to the local dry cleaner, hand them out to a local thrift. So hey, listen, I buy this, this, and this. If you get this in, call me. I'll give you guys a couple dollars per piece without even having to look at this. You know what I mean? So that's why I was really successful before. And I've always been really good at marketing, self-marketing. So for me, it's like, Kevin, just do it, man. Just shut up and just jump off that cliff. And if you don't land, if you land you're going to land feet up. If you don't, what's the worst going to happen? I got my 220 license. I can go right back to doing the same old 8 to 5 job. But right now, you can ask my girlfriend. I'm not happy.
Why don't you try this? Why don't you try booking 2 weeks holiday? Just having 2 weeks holiday and working on your business for 2 weweeks solid, and just see what happens to you, see what happens to your business, see how much you both grow.
We're killing it. We're doing triple the listings we're used to, and we're going from $100 a day average to like now $200 a day, $250 more like, right? On good days we're doing $450, $400 right there, right? So that's good enough for me. That's exactly what's great. That's exactly the stat, because I'm a stat nerd. So that's exact the stats that I needed to see to say, okay, Kevin, you can just quit. Because if you did this part-time last year, you and your girlfriend, and you made 40 grand, which we did. We made 40 grand last year part-time. If I put her effort into it, we should at least minimum be able to make 80 grand. That's more than the 55 grand I made at my job, then some. So I think my brain's starting to come around to, because she tells me every day, Kevin, you got to quit. Like your mind and your brain is so better off spent on this business instead of sitting here waiting for people to phone call you in that are just going to annoy the crap out of you, that you don't even, she's like, I know you don't even want to even answer these phone calls. She's like, you're just holding on to the inevitable. She's right, 100%. I mean, my girlfriend's one of the smartest people I know. I don't just trust anybody with doing my business. Like, I'm a very big micromanager, and my girlfriend can source, she can list, she can sell, and she's the best person I know at goal setting and putting her mind to it.
Clay's Closet says, "Quit your job live."
He would say that.
I would do a live and call up my manager and do that. That would actually work. That's a really good tip, a good thing, Clay. I may have to do that when I mean, because who wouldn't want to see that, where you literally just have a conversation with your boss saying, hey, dude, been here for 4 years. I love you guys to death, but I'm out.
I'm glad you said it like that. I did exactly the same thing, and I've basically made a contact through it. So when they sell stuff, it was a bar restaurant, so now I can buy anything they sell. And when I find stuff, I got somebody to sell it to. So I got a big, massive industrial dishwasher, big, massive industrial stainless steel fridge freezer. I bought both of them from a house clearance, not a house clearance, it was a restaurant clearance the other day. I sold them straight away. I made my money back from the whole purchase by selling them to the place I used to work. I don't have to deal with postage. So easy.
And that's something that nobody can just do. People like, oh, you resell whatever. And it's like, dude, you have no skill. You have no clue the skills that we have. Because each one of us have so much skills compared. Like, all right, let's say this. I went out and bought a bunch of dead stock 1980s and 70s Hanes underwear for $1.02 a piece. This guy's been in business since the 40s. He's a third generation. He's closing his business down. He calls it a retirement sale. It's a sale where he never was able to adapt to the time.
Liquidation.
You know what I mean? Huh?
Liquidation.
Yeah. But the thing is he had to go. He went out of business because he couldn't adapt to online. So that's what I mean is like, hey, you may be great in person and you may be able to sell in front, even though your stuff is like way expensive than what people are going to buy it for. That's why you're going out of business. You're going out of business, unfortunately, because you could not make the change from a retail shop into an online business. And that's not my fault. It's not anybody else's fault. It's your own. And when people look at us like we're stupid or they look down at us, because I get it all the time, it's like, dude, you have no clue what we're capable of. You put my brain, your brain, all three of our brains together, I guarantee you we can come up with an infinite amount of ways that we can make money compared to that guy that has no connections, that has a retail brick and mortar shop, that has to stay there every single day while his business gets eaten away because of the rent.
But I think that's
what makes us so lucky.
I think that's something what a lot of other resellers need to do as well. Because obviously, if you get stuck in your times, if you get stuck in a loop doing something, you think, this is working now, it's going to work next year. What's working now isn't going to work next year. what happened last year, not last year, 2019, didn't work in 2020 because of lockdown. Everybody had to adapt. I started paying taxis to go off around where I live to pick stuff up from people's houses to drop off to me so I could sell it, because I couldn't go around to people's houses and knock on their door and say, like, yeah, I need some stuff. I paid taxis to pick products up for me. If you adapt and overcome, you could go for anything. I really do think that.
I think this year I'm going to have to... Who's bleeping?
Me.
Oh, that's me.
Oh.
Sorry, my girlfriend was texting me.
Oh, no, that's fine. I didn't know if it was me or not. Yeah, I think this year I'm going to have to try and get my car, do my license. I need it. Like, it's time. Like, the only way I'm going to grow at this point, well, I still have lots of growth to do before that I could potentially do before I get my license. But once I get the license, it's just like, that's it. It's like light in the rocket, you know? Like, it's just going to go crazy.
You need the license for your business to progress, really.
Yeah.
That's it. Like, there's so much stuff that I can go pick up right now that I just can't go get.
But you could write that off. You could write your lessons off. You could write your car off, everything to do with your car. If you only use it for your business, if it's your business car, you could write that all off.
Yeah, I just got to get it done. I did lessons before. I can actually drive. I just need to do the theory and then the actual test. And I don't know if... I think there's like a really long like delay on doing tests now because of what's going on. So
I would have thought so, yeah.
Yeah, I might have to like sneak an extra couple £100 in someone's pocket to get the test a bit quicker.
Or you won't get a receipt for that and you won't be able to write that.
That won't be a tax. Well, you never know.
No, how old are you, Jay?
27.
27?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Something
man, you gotta
in
get your
America,
license.
they do it in school, didn't they?
Yeah, we did it. I have mine since I was 15 and a half. Actually, in Florida, you get yours is 15 and a half.
That's crazy.
But it's a sense of independence. And I never noticed that until my ex-girlfriend who gets seizures, and she had a license taken away for 4 years. I had no clue how spoiled and lucky we are who can drive. Compared to the people that actually have to rely on people, and they feel it's like a burden on them. And I always said, it's not your fault. It's okay. You know, it's fine, you know, but to that person you literally see every day who was crying that she couldn't get her license because it was taken away from her. Now she has her license and she's independent. She's happy. You know, it goes a long way, and it's a sense of accomplishment. You know what I mean? And there's little steps in your life that you're accomplished by. And one of them is having your license. And man, you'll have no problem getting it. It's something, and just always I always said it this way, whenever I did anything, reselling, anything, when I had 2 kids within a year apart, my son was screaming this. I remember I said this to myself, and I conditioned myself to say this all the time when something's difficult. I said it. I was inside the bathroom. My son was crying. I was trying to rock my other son to sleep. And I was saying to myself, there's always somebody worse off out there than you are. You can do this. It's the same thing there, man. You can do this. You got this.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh, I could
just think
definitely do it. It's
positive.
just, I've, been lazy for many, many years, and then I've started reselling, and it's kind of like changed
You're after
where I'm going, and now it's something that is on the list of things to do, whereas before it was just, I don't drive, don't really care. But now it's like, actually, probably should have done this before, and then this would have been a lot easier. Like, if I'd already had my license, like that last year that I just did now, like from starting from nothing to where I am now, that last year would have probably been like 3, maybe 4 times better. And it's already crazy how well it's gone.
Money.
So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you'll have more responsibility, and on top of that, you'll see the difference between your growth on your numbers. So you'll see it before your license, and then you're going to see a big bump after your license, because you're able to go and be able to go and just source anywhere you wanted to source.
Yep.
Or like he does, go around and drop off flyers to people and just say, listen, we'll consignment or whatever. And hustle that way, man. Because what we do is we're every single day we hustle. And it's funny, I had a conversation with my coworker when I was telling her, like, I'm really thinking about leaving this job. And I said to her, I don't ever go to bed or wake up in the middle of the night with ideas on how to do better insurance. I don't do that. I do that with eBay. I have a hard time when I wake up and I have something going through my brain and I don't write it down. It's because of eBay. It's because of reselling, and that's a good thing to do.
Yeah.
It's a good thing that whatever you have, when planning it out and writing things down, man, is the best thing you can do, because you can go back to that. Hey, I wanted to spend a half hour learning about box cars or matchbox cars, right? Well, I'm not gonna remember that 2 p.m. if I don't have a set schedule and said, oh man, I forgot to write that down. What was I gonna do? Middle of the night, I said I was gonna do something. But if you have it written down, oh yeah, middle of the night I wrote down I was gonna go do half-hour research in matchbox cars. I tell you, the best thing to do is write things down, man. Everyone says it. Joe Rogan lives by writing things down, and a lot of other people say that a lot of the most successful people, they write everything down. They actually keep journals. You know, I believe Matt McConaughey, the author, he was on doing an interview, and he says, yeah, he literally, since he was a kid, he has written down in his journal every single day as a kid to where he is now.
I've started doing this. I bought myself 2 giant, massive whiteboards, put them up in my office at work, and I'll do brainstorms. I'll do them for myself. So, like, if I wanted to do a brainstorm on clothes, so I'll just do a brainstorm on clothes, jeans, what brands I want to look out for, and then what sizes sell the best, and stuff like that. So I'll do like brainstorms, and then once I've done the brainstorm, I'll nick like 3 or 4 bits off of that, create my own list, and stick it to the side on there. So I've started doing that. But what I wanted to quickly ask is, how is leaflet distribution working in the US? Obviously, I know Jay's done it, so it's a nice little comparison here. So obviously,
you said, what do you mean leaflet? Like what you said earlier, handing out flyers?
Yeah. So
yeah, when I was doing it, whenever I was doing it, again, right now, 8 to 5 is a huge disadvantage for me. Monday through Friday, I can't do that because I'm working. So that is what's holding me back also, is going to whenever a thrift store has sales on a specific day. I can't do it because it's during the week. It's a huge holdback right now, this job I have. So like you said, when I was able to do it 5 years ago, when I had my business cards, I was hitting them up at all the shops around me, and I'm out my business card. Then I was able to go out into thrift stores. I did the mom and pop thrift stores because, come on, Goodwill and Salvation Army, they're not going to give you the time of day when you say, hey, I want to pick your back section, back room, the ones that aren't on the floor yet. They ain't going to care. But the bomb and pop shops, I went able to, when I did it, I've done a half dozen. I even have in one of my videos where I went to a thrift store and they saw I had 2 large carts full of blazers and sport jackets, right? And they said, listen, we have a bunch more in the back. Do you want to go check them out? And that's where I got my idea for writing down pamphlets and sending down to local thrift stores to send out so they can let me thrift their back sections that's not even out on the floor yet. Number one, you're going to get them for cheaper because you're going to bundle them, you know. And number 2, you're going to see what they have that nobody else can see. It's like a gold mine. It's literally like American Pickers, man. But I want to do more of, like, because I live in like a farm area now, and I live in like a suburb. I want to go around to those areas, the little farm areas, and do that, hand out flyers and say, hey, listen, here's my information. Give me a call, or I can come pick your yard. We'll agree on terms, because I feel like that I could be really successful with that.
How did yours go?
But that's what I've written down for what I want to do.
I've never seen any updates on yours. I know that you mostly done door to door instead of like charity shops and things like that.
Yeah, no, I was dropping off paper leaflets through people's doors during the lockdown, because obviously everything was shut. I couldn't, I could only do Facebook pickups and that, so I was getting about, I think it was about 5 contacts per 150 leaflets. So I mean, I was doing 250. Was taking me about 2 hours to do 250 leaflets, and then of that would be like maybe 8 to 10 contacts, and maybe out of that 50% would be something I could pick up. So I mean,
it's not bad. It's not bad.
It's better than 0, man.
It's okay. I would recommend it during, this is what I said on the video, like during a lockdown. Like now a lot of us are in tier 4, which is basically just like a lockdown. Now is a good time to be leafleting because everything's shut. Once everything's back open, you don't need to do it as much anymore, because you can spend your time, that 2 hours you'd be dropping leaflets off, you can be in the charity shops or searching somewhere else. But when everything's shut, why not? I still have, I think 1 or 2 packs left over, so I can get those done in the and the good thing about it is it's like targeted. It's not like a Facebook advert where it goes out to like 10 miles. Like it's targeted to like specific roads where you want. So I could go down the like really expensive houses and drop them off, but I found that like the higher end houses are less likely to contact you. But then again, if you get one, maybe if you get lucky and you get one really nice like rich person that just wants to get rid of a load of their stuff because maybe their kids moved out of the house or something, and they got loads of stuff, that one contact there could like be a massive pickup compared to like a load of other houses. So you never know what you're going to find.
A good advantage too is that you have a YouTube channel now and you're growing. You're going to have people out there that are in your area that watch you and say, man, I got this stuff. I literally just bought like all of someone's stuff. It's a future video coming.
He's moving out of the area. I picked up like half his stock for a decent price. It's not like an amazing price. He's a reseller too, obviously. But I got it, and it's stock now for during lockdown. I'm working through it slowly. So yeah, you're right. People will contact you and they'll say, "I've got this, this, and this. Do you want it?"
Obviously, so, yeah. Every now and then you do get a subscriber sale, but I really don't see YouTube as a way of trying to get ready and stuff or sourcing stuff either, because I have had people contact me because of seen my channel, contacted me directly, either if it's through Instagram or through Facebook or through email, and they'll say, "Are you interested in buying this stuff off of me? I live in Scotland." Like, you see, I wouldn't want to buy that stuff off you because number one, the postage on that stuff is going to be quite expensive. Number two, the prices you're asking, I'm probably going to make a 40% margin minus obviously the postage that's got to get to me, and then let's just say 10% of that's going to get like it's not working. So the margins buying off of resellers through my channel isn't very good. So I tend to avoid it. I tend to just say no, I'm really sorry, unless I can pick it up and unless I can make you guys know what I'm doing, unless I can make a certain amount of profit.
That's what I was going to say. Like if it's enough stuff and it's in Scotland, you could hire like a van for like, what is it, like £50 a day or something, or 2 days.
How much do you think it's going to cost me to get to Scotland? And obviously,
depends how much stuff's there. Depends how much stuff's in the lot, you know.
They don't have like, if you rent a truck to like over here in the United States, if you rent like a U-Haul, it's per day.
Yeah, we have.
And then you just put your own gas mileage in there. It's not mileage. Like, yeah, it may be $200. Well, I don't know how much it is over there, but for us, it may be $200. But you got to add that into your cost of goods. If you're getting it super cheap and you're getting like 500 pieces of like and or concert T-shirts that you know are going to go primo $40 plus, man, I would not even be thinking twice. I wouldn't care. I'd be going across the country for that stuff because I know the end result is a huge profit margin, and I'm going to get it super cheap. I know they're going to sell really quick. That's like the ultimate trifecta: is get it super cheap, something that sells fast, and big profit.
See, I would say like the one like big difference between the UK and the US is you have estate sales, right? Where like people die and then they sell off like their entire thing. We kind of have that in the UK, but it's not like open to the public. Like one company will go in, they're called like house clearance people. They'll clear out the whole lot. They'll get paid to remove it all, and then they'll part it out. So like they'll sell off a load to people that they know, and then they'll take the rest down the CARBOOT sale and they'll sell it off really cheap so their van's clear for the next one. So those sort of people, they're getting all of that stuff, but they're not really interested in maximizing their profits from every single piece. So I really wish it was the other way around. I wish we had estate sales like you do, where like the public can just walk in and you can just like pick it yourself.
We're so lucky.
Yeah.
When I think about us compared to you guys, because I know how hard it is for you guys over there. I've had conversations with UK sellers. You guys have it rough over there, right? For us, it's super. We maybe complain over things that you guys would be like, that's what you're complaining about. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
With us, we like you said, the estate sales are, yeah, they're getting a little expensive, but that's why I go on the last day after 12 p.m. when everything's half off, and I'm getting stuff super discount compared to what I'm selling the stuff for on eBay.
That's
You
it.
know, so like our problems really compared to yours are minimal.
Like the stuff I see in videos where people go to like estate sales, the stuff that they're picking up at estate sales are like the like gems, like the one-off gems that we'll find in like a charity shop like once every like 4 months, and we're like, oh my god, and you guys are just picking them up like 5, 6 six a pop.
I will say though, when we've got the house clearance guys, I mean, because I've got a few house clearance contacts now, I've got to deal with a lot of my house clearance guys that I'm going to be the first one through the door with them, because they're getting paid to take everything away. Then I'm paying them on top of that to take some of the stuff away. So I'll turn up with them. They've just been paid £500 to clear this house. I've just given them £500 to buy whatever I want. So I go through the house, I buy what I want, pile it all up. He'll say, I want 500 for that. I'm like, there you go, there's 500. And because I've got that good of a contact with some of them, I could go there before they've even researched it, before they've cleared it out, before they've stuck it on the marketplace, stuck it on eBay, stuck it on boot sale. I've just turned up with them, said, I'll give you this much for this much, and take it there and then. I've got 3 contacts, and I've got one of them are going off. Do you know Staples? Staples is
Yes, of course, we have Staples everywhere here.
Well, there's a Staples that's closed down local to here, and it closed down a year ago. And my house contract guy has got the clearance contract for that. And that's just full of ink, full of printers, all brand new box, everything like that. I'm turning up with him, and he's been paid to clear it all, throw it all in the bin. And I'm turning up with him to buy a lot of it off him, including racking. And I think that's going to be one of my biggest purchases to date. But
so another thing that I want to do when I go full time is I want to do cleanouts. I want to rent trucks, clean out houses, and I have contacts for that. And I don't know if do you guys have a state law over there? Like people, whenever they pass away, they have a lawyer who takes care of the estate.
We have wills and stuff, so I guess like you have a lawyer that deals with.
There has to be some sort of law or lawyer, or whatever you guys call them over there, that takes care of the estates for someone if they pass away. It gets divvied up. I find I have a few of them, and I have a friend who tells me, Kevin, there is so many people that I deal with that die that they're basically paying people to take this stuff out. I'm like, what? She's like, yeah. And it's all in the rich areas too. So what I would say to you guys, I would look into seeing about estate law. Whoever you guys can contact, there's probably a bunch of lawyers that handle people's estates when they die. And say, hey, listen, here's my business card. This is what I do. I can do cleanouts. I can rent a truck, clean everything out, get it off your hands, and I won't even charge you. And I guarantee they'll be giving you a call. That's what my plan is too when I start going full time.
But then when you start doing that, you're looking at insurance as well. Obviously, my house clearance guys, they are insured to go off and do all of this. So if you turn up with the wrong insurance, you don't have any insurance, but you're doing it for free, then you get in trouble.
Well, that's for us. That's why we have a business license, and then we have insurance on that business license. But then you're also, I don't know how that works over here. But as I was getting, the understanding was, I don't think you even had to have that specific insurance over here. You can go there, pick everything up, and then you're good. You're not liable for. That person there is not liable. You can sign an affidavit or whatever, or whatever they call it. Then you're good to go. That's what I want to start doing, and that's another reason why I want to talk to Double Dog Treasures, because he does that.
For my business, I do pay insurance, but the only insurance I pay is public liability, and I pay contents insurance.
Yeah, everything's different over here than over there. We really kind of have you guys by like tight.
Yep.
Tight over there, man. Like an iron fist. Like you can't do anything much outside that book. Mm-hmm. Over here, we're a little more loose.
Until you get sued.
I could always go down, insurance on a truck, rent the U-Haul, and then clean everything out, and then we're good. Especially if I know the estate or the whoever does the estate law, they know I'm going in there. And then you can always just buy, if they're like, well, they want, they're looking for people to buy it. You can always be first dibs into looking at what they're selling, before anything if they do an estate sale.
Obviously,
You know?
contacts like that you really need to build up. Obviously, if you want to be the first dibs, they might have had like 100 people 10 years before coming in saying, "Oh, we want to have first dibs." So you really need to build those sort of contacts up. I agree.
Right, I think we got some
We can make
questions
money
from
doing
the chat. What was that question? Someone asked, is the competition harder on eBay.com, do you reckon? I don't know what that's in
What is
terms of like compared to like the UK. Obviously the US is much bigger. Oh, that was one thing that Joe wanted to ask about was the shipping. The way that shipping works in the US.
I'll give you an
the-
example with ours. So for raw mail, I can post small, which is 35 centimeters, 45 centimeters by 16 centimeters deep, under 2 kilos. I can send that for less than £3.50 anywhere in the country. How much would that cost you?
Yeah. Something that big, like, depends on weight. The dimensions like that. Say if we, oh man, what did we sold.
Let's say it's the maximum. It's 2 kilos, 35 centimeters.
Oh, we don't have a max. We can go as big as we want. We can do freight shipping if we want to ship furniture, which I'll probably be start getting into soon when I refinish my furniture and flipping it and shipping it. But as far as like regular packages, man, we can sell Guitar Hero stuff, Guitar Hero drum set in a big box. I've sold before, and I think the max I paid on shipping that was like $25, and I think that we charged them like calculated, so it came out to be like 40. So we made quite a bit of money on it.
Can you explain calculated? Because we don't have that in the UK because we have set rates.
So calculated is on eBay. There's a section when you go into shipping, you click it. You can either do calculate or flat specifically dimensions, and then you put your price that you want to charge them. Calculate, eBay does it for you.
Okay.
So say I have this dimension, the dimension that I mentioned before, and then the weight's like 20 pounds, right? It's going to calculate that weight from regions. So like from the East Coast, Midwest Coast, or like the Midwest, and then the West Coast, right? Obviously, the West Coast can be the most expensive. So what they do is they calculate it, and a lot of times it's ballooned. How much you can make a lot of money on the shipping. Like I said before, I make $15 on that alone.
This is actually a good tie-in because I always watch American YouTubers and they say, "I'm gonna refund some postage." Now, to me, that just seems stupid. Like, if someone's paid too much postage because you've set it a little bit high, why bother? Like, it's like $2 or something. I guess that's because like you've put calculated. It's calculated like Florida to Texas at like $20 or something, and then it's actually 16 or 12 or something when you go to pay it, right? So you like some people will refund the difference, I presume. Whereas in the UK, I could send something of a certain size anywhere within the UK and it'll be the same price because obviously we're so small, right? It's like sending within state.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. Exactly what you just said, 100%. So for me, it's like if you want to be the lazy man, like I was for the longest time, I did calculated. Now we do flat. So how we flatten it is, it actually is going to save a lot of people money, even though it includes the West Coast prices. It's still going to save a bunch of money because you're getting a flat after eBay gives you the discount. eBay gives you a huge discount on your postage, whether it's UPS, USPS, or FedEx, right?
Yep.
And then they give you that discount for shipping labels to them or pirate ship, right? Well, the people that are buying it don't get those discounts because they're getting the prices that it would be if we didn't get the discount. So if I wanted to go to the post office and say I'm going to ship this to the West Coast, that's basically what they're charging them when it's calculated. So we get the discount on eBay for eBay labels, and then we get the money back from calculated. So we're getting a huge amount of money back while that person's paying balloon prices. So I switched a couple weeks ago and found that I'm actually making more sales now with the flat.
Because people like on the West Coast, I see
it's
it's cheaper.
It's expensive to ship. Yeah.
Okay.
So now that I dropped it, it's actually cheaper than a lot of other people because I'm not competing with them anymore. The calculated, I'm on my own now. So now they're like, oh, well, this is a lot cheaper than this person that has calculated.
This
I'm
is
going to
the
buy
same
from
thing.
Kevin now.
That's
Yeah.
basically what I've done because we have GSP here as well, right? The global shipping thing.
Yeah.
And
I
a
do
lot of
both.
people, a lot of people
eBay
in the
International
UK,
and global.
yeah, a lot of people in the UK will just turn on GSP and that'll be it. That's all they'll do for international. They'll just turn it on and wait, and you won't get many sales because, like you said, the prices that they charge for GSP are balloon.
Same.
They're so expensive. So what I do is when I'm sending stuff international, I'll work out individually because pretty much most of the places in the European Union, at least prior to Brexit, we don't know exactly how it's going to work after Brexit yet, but before, pretty much I could send the same thing, excuse me, like France or to Russia, and it would cost the same, depending on size and weight, obviously, if it's like a video game DVD, something like that. So on my DVDs, I know a flat cost to the whole of Europe that's going to cover all of these countries, and it's still going to work out cheaper with tracking than it would if I just turned on GSP. So I'm like undercutting all these people using GSP, and I get like tons of video game sales to Europe just because I've spent the 2 seconds to click the actual individual price as well and put in like how much it is. Whereas everyone else just goes, GSP, that'll cover it, and then they don't get any sales from it. I think it was Joe, actually. Didn't I tell you to do that, and then you got loads more sales? Oh, your mic's gone again.
Has it really?
Oh, no, there you go. It's back. It's back.
It's not like loads more sales I'm getting. I'm still getting like consistent sales, but I've been able to raise the price on the premium games like Minecraft pre-owned. I can get 30 quid for now, and I've never got any in stock.
Yep.
Never got it in stock. Everyone's getting 15, 20 pounds for it. I'm getting 30 pounds for it. Every time I get it in stock, I relist it for 30 pounds, and it will sell. It will sell within a week. It might sell within a month. I get 30 pounds consistently. I resurface it and I reseal it. Send it anywhere in the world for a £5.
That's it. Yeah.
Now, do you guys have eBay? What is it called? I gotta look it up real quick. I think it's standard shipping, not the USP. So we have two options now.
We don't have any standard size.
We have.
So what we do?
We have Packlink. So Packlink gives us UPS, Hermes, gives us DPD, DWP, and all of these other brands where we can send bigger 10 kilo items. Let's say a 10 kilo parcel. I could send that for a £5 to Scotland through Hermes on Packlink, and then obviously everything else is raw mail through post office.
So for us, we have two options. You can do the USPS international shipping. Now, I don't do that anymore because I've had people that had, what's that called? Never received the item, right? So I send it overseas and never receive it. And it's like, because it stopped showing the tracking after it leaves the United States, right? So then boom, once every 3 months I'd be out, depends on how much an item is, because it never showed up. Or the guy just lied to me and said, listen, I never received it. And there's nothing I can do about it because there's no insurance on it. Well, start of last year, they came out with eBay International Shipping, it's called. It's exactly like the global shipping, but I guess it's a lot less than the global shipping. As long as I send it to Kentucky and they receive it, boom, I'm good. And it's insured.
Same here.
I don't have to worry.
But we get that through the GSP. Obviously, if we send it to the GSP, as long as the global shipping, I could send a TV in a bloody bubble envelope and it turns up there, and it is in one piece there. It doesn't matter if it breaks between there and its new destination. It doesn't matter if it gets lost between there and the new destination. If you get negative feedback because of the item between there and the new destination, obviously not because obviously you sent them the wrong item, you still get negative. But if you sent them an item and it's damaged there and you get negative because of it, you get that removed straight away because it's through the GSP, not the fault. If it gets lost, get your money, they get their money. If it gets damaged, you get your money, they get their money. It's never been an issue. Yeah. I don't even bother saying anything about it. If they open up a return request, eBay,
I feel the same way. So we have the same thing, but they added, I don't know if you knew this, but they added an additional with global shipping, which is more expensive. They have the same thing that would have been the USPS international shipping, right? But you didn't get the, the satisfaction. If that person doesn't get it, you're screwed. I'm out of my money, right? With this one though, it's exactly like GSP. It's cheaper rates. So I get a lot of sales through that way.
Is that for like business?
Is that for? Sorry.
Is that just for like business, eBay business, and then the GSP is for like the standard private user or whatever?
Yeah, it's just for eBay. eBay has an option. They have a drop down. They have global shipping to click, right? Then underneath there, you can dig down your options to ship, right? For international, you can either do USPS international shipping, which is no safety net, right? But it's the cheapest. Or you could do a little bit more expensive, and I think it includes the international taxes and fees for the buyer that's buying it. And it's a lot cheaper than GSP. That is the one that you can actually send to the same warehouse that GSP is. It's cheaper.
That's so weird that they didn't like announce that or anything. They just like they turned it on. Like...
That's why I think it's just for United States. Again, unfortunately, it's an advantage for us.
So one thing I know that you guys have in the US, I don't think it's rolled out here yet, is like the new like authenticity thing that you have going on with eBay. I don't know if you know about this. You have like
I'm part of that.
Oh really? Because I had someone join the Discord
I'm part of the
that
authentication.
said,
yeah. I got picked a couple weeks back, and then they gave me a $250 gift card for the first week. It was more of like they're doing for shoes. You notice how they're doing things for shoes?
That was
they're
it.
making a specific website for eBay for shoes.
Okay.
Anything over $100 gets sent in. We authenticate it and we send it back out to the person that it's like Grail. So Grail's the same way. StockX is the same way. You send it to an authenticator, they authenticate, then they send it to the buyer, right? It's gonna be basically the same way. Anything over $100, if you want to authenticate it, it gets sent to us. We put, hold on a second. I have this little chip that you probably won't see anywhere else. This little chip right here goes inside the box and you send it right back out. This week's gonna be the first week where we're able to actually work on, we're going through the website, working on things. I'm excited for this. I specifically asked, I said, I know you guys need authenticators. Been doing this, obviously you can look back, I've been doing this for 20 years, been on, my username's been on eBay for 20 years. The lady came back and said it to me. She's like, yeah, we're gonna start you next week. Just, it's as you go. I guess some training course, but they're gonna send it to us, we authenticate it, and then we send it out to the buyer. What I'm hoping is it's like a few years ago, eBay used to have what's called eBay Valet. People would send in a bunch of their used clothes. You would list them. If they didn't sell after 3 times, you can send the items back to them or you can keep them. That's what I'm hoping. I'm hoping that something happens, because if I can get some sort of way where it comes in and then the buyer or something happens, it gets returned back to sender, boom, you get to keep that, or you send it back to seller. I don't know. I think that'd be pretty cool. Plus it'd make me a lot of money, but it's going to be fun though. I like doing test things like that because I have the most honest opinion of anybody's. I'll tell you if I think eBay's slacking in a certain area, and I've told them that. I said I think this is why, because they're doing a test run on the website for the eBay shoes, right? And there's 3 different alternatives or variants, and then each one they go through it like a half hour each with you, and they ask you which one do you like. Why do you like that one better? What do you think this one's lacking? I give them my most honest opinion, man. And I'll tell them, like, I just think it's better for your eye coordination. This is what I see first. This is what I like. I think this is better. And for what I see, it's coming down the pipeline for eBay when it comes to the authentication part of the shoes from what I'm working on. It's going to be just like StockX and Goat and stuff. It's going to be really good for eBay. And I told the lady, I said, you guys are going to be really set and pretty, because one thing is you have a leg up on everybody else is your international shipping. You don't have that with StockX or Grail. Or you do Grail, but it's different. So I think it's going to be a big advantage for eBay with the shoes and the authentication. And I see them going other places with it. I see them going maybe into video games or baseball cards. I see them doing it, right? So when they asked me, do you want to be a part of it? Right away, I said yes. I don't care. Yes, I want to be part of it.
Because I know that
Plus,
they
I
started
like
this.
that
I know.
$200 gift card.
Yeah, I know that they started it with watches originally because I saw
Yep.
a Craigslist Hunters video. And the good thing is it just gives you both the buyer and the seller insurance. Because if you buy something from a seller and it's fake, you don't have to prove it's fake because it's gone to the mediator who's tested and checked it or whatever. As long as he's doing his job good and he's not part of the... You never know. There's always going to be that one person that's like teamed up with a scammer and he's getting all the fakes come through and he's saying that it's authenticated and then the buyer's got nothing to do. But hopefully that doesn't happen, but that could be a thing in the future maybe. But it's good for like extra security for both, and obviously you don't have to then worry that something's going to turn up and it's going to be like a brick in a box or something completely different. But yeah, I literally asked that question because I had someone from America join the Discord last night, I think, or this morning, and said, is this happening on all shoes over $100? And I didn't know what he was talking about. And they basically said they just signed up for eBay.
I think they're really going after...
Yeah, they just signed up for eBay.
They're really going after the...
And they'd sold a shoe. They said that they just signed up to eBay, listed a shoe for over 100, it sold, and he's had to send it off to like Texas or something, and he was like confused about what's going on.
Yeah, so if you look up StockX or Goat, they're shoe companies, and I think this is what eBay is taking part, obviously piggybacking them, but it's a good thing to do. Like, I want to make sure if I'm buying something from you, and there's so many fake handbags, women handbags and stuff out there, I don't really know if it's authentic or not. I would feel more at ease buying it, having somebody authenticate it, getting that eBay guaranteed satisfaction of authentication, and then getting it sent to me. I would feel so much more at ease than knowing that, hey, listen, I bought something, got sent to me, and my girlfriend says that's not real. She knows Louis Vuitton purse. That's not real. I go into a Louis Vuitton purse place. They tell me it's not real. Boom, I just got screwed. I paid $400 for a bag that's worth maybe $100 because, believe it or not, there's a huge market for what they call bootleg or reproduction. They call purses and stuff like that, and sunglasses and everything. It's a big market. You can make a lot of money selling it. Just looked up there's a Netflix, Slobby's World. He sells a lot of that stuff at his store. Mm-hmm. Even though you're not supposed to, or what people claim you're not supposed to, but it's more of like the artwork. People still consider it art. The old bootlegs.
I've had a VERO. I've had a VERO, VERO, for selling non-official Lego marble figurines on my store, which I did list them as Lego compatible, but because I had Lego in the title, I got a VERO for it. Yeah, I served for it for 3 days, no listing, no selling.
But wouldn't it be a lot easier if you found that out when you went and sent it in without having to get a VERO, and they're like, hey, listen, these aren't real?
I knew they weren't real.
To throw you off.
I knew they weren't real. I just made a mistake when I made the listing. I put Lego in the title and in the description, which I was not allowed to do. Lego is obviously brands. I said Lego compatible. It connects to actual Lego. That's not actual Lego.
Oh, you used the word Lego and it flagged it, yeah.
Yeah, but because I had the word Lego.
I remember someone put Velcro in the name of the item had like...
you get VERO for Velcro.
Yeah, and they put Velcro in, and it obviously wasn't actual Velcro. It was like a fake Velcro, and they got done for that.
That's one of my future videos, is telling people what are the VERO words and keywords are not to use. Because a lot of people don't know. Like, so if I'm looking, and I think that'd be a great video to make.
I think that'd be a really good
video. I don't know, if I'm a new seller, man, I got some Velcro shoes, and I put Velcro in it, boom, VERO, what did I do wrong?
And the thing is, like, those words can change, like, every week. Like, if a company suddenly decides they don't want, let's just say, like, in the UK, we call vacuum cleaners Hoovers, right? Just, like, that's the word we use, because the first company that made a vacuum cleaner was called Hoover. So a lot of people might list their Dyson as a Dyson Hoover by accident, because they're so used to saying it. And then, obviously, if Hoover don't like that, they can then all of a sudden say, look, anyone that says it's a Hoover when it's not a Hoover, just like VERO them or whatever, however you pronounce it. So like those words can be added. Like one week you might be able to say Velcro, and then the next week Velcro are like, hang on a minute, we don't like that, and then they can strike them all down. So you just have to be very careful. Like if you're listing something, make sure it's only using like the actual brand that's involved. Like saying like Lego compatible in the titles, like doesn't sound like it's a bad thing, but like when people type Lego, that's going to come up and they might think that it's Lego.
Now we have a little comment in the this section. I guess Clay is going back and forth with somebody saying I guess maybe Jay, you don't show your store. That's optional. As a YouTuber, you don't have to show your store.
Oh no, I show my store now. It's in the description.
Yeah, I think someone wrote something about Valdes wrote.
Oh, no, this guy, yeah.
Yeah, my thing is that like I know a lot of people that don't show their store. I show my store. It doesn't bother me. I don't lie about my numbers. I don't care.
I think what he's trying to say. Let me go back to the beginning. He said, "Hi, I've been monitoring your store. You sold 20 items in the last 21 days. That's not true. I sell about 300, if not a little bit more. December was a little bit less, actually.
Why it comes up like that? It's why it comes up like that. It's because it tells you what's been sold if the person who bought the item from you is a public account. So
it's not even that. It's because I have the option on which, you know, I don't know if you have it in the US. Like it's like a stock managing thing. So like you can list something and say you've got like one in stock, and when it sells, it doesn't delete that item, but it sets it to 0 in stock, so you can relist it easier. So what happens is when it's sat when it's sat at 0, it won't show. If someone searches your store, it will never show that as a sold item. It will never show up that you've sold that item on like their sold things until you end that item.
Because it's like replenishable.
Yeah, exactly. So I have like
if you find the same item, you just press 1 and then you're good to go. Yeah, I totally get it.
So I have like
that's what we're trying to do too, because it's gonna be it makes it faster to list.
Yeah. So I have like I don't know how many I have right now, but normally like once a month I'll go in and I'll end like all of the things, and it messes up because it will keep like your stock amount. Like it will say I still have like 1,000 items listed until I end them all. And then it will drop down like 200 or 150 or something whenever I do that. Yeah. But then, if someone then searches for my eBay, it will then show all of them items suddenly sold. So like one day it'll be like, oh, you've sold 20 items that month. As soon as I've ended them all, they'll go back the next day and it'll be like, oh, I've suddenly sold like 200 items or something.
I think this is a little bit.
But the funny thing is, the funny thing is, he says he doesn't even do eBay, so he doesn't even know what he's talking about.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Is like some people just don't.
You had 860. Now you have 855. Why are you lying, Jake? Well, my name's not Jake, by the way. But anyway, there's this thing called selling and listing. If I sell 20 items and list 15, there's going to be a 5 difference. I mean, it's simple maths and deductions. But there we go. There's always going to be people like that. This guy doesn't even do eBay, so he doesn't know what he's talking about.
I don't understand why you're
That's what I'm saying.
I don't understand why you're getting targeted. Why would this be happening? I have friends who work for eBay. Good for you.
Well, you can ask them to check my account if you're that concerned about me selling 21 items.
It's like I said, it's not a big deal. If I was selling 10 aisles, 20 items, a lot of times eBay is not going to be correct most of the time, honestly.
I had someone message me. I had someone message me before, and they were like, "Oh, it says that your last item sold was like 20 days ago." I was like, "I'd be bankrupt. I'd be out of the business if that was the case."
There you go. Yeah. I've sold in the last 90 days 1,101.
That's great, man.
How many items?
But that won't show you that in my sold. I think that's what it is, because it tells me my turnover for the last 90 days, which has come down because I haven't sold anything in a week because I'm closed at the moment, is on 24,000. And it's
nice.
I've got 11,000 sold. But if you go onto my sold listings, so check out my sold listings now if you can. just look at what I've sold. It will tell you what I've sold, but it won't give you a lot of it because it only shows you it only shows you on there what's sold to a public account. So like a business account has to be a public account, but some other people can opt to be public. But most people are private accounts, so it won't show that in your sold items. It won't show it because that's a private account that's for that.
Yeah. Yes, that is my name, by the way. Congratulations, you went onto my eBay and looked at my business information.
And hey, if you want to support them, go buy something.
Yeah, make it 22 sold this month. That'll really help, dude. I'm struggling here.
Yeah, that's why you put out videos like once a day and then what you sold too. And yeah, that's good. I guarantee you, if you go through all your videos, it's going to be a lot more than 20 sales. You know what I mean, in your videos. That's what I'm saying is it's people are going to be salty. They've always been salty.
He got me. You know what I do? I go to the shop, I buy
Oh,
stock.
mate, you need to block him now. Is sharing your personal details,
Why? What's he said?
your address.
I mean, it's on my account.
Yeah, but you don't want that to just be shared. So just get him blocked.
You're going to get a knock at the door by the pizza guy. I mean, you're welcome to come in if you want.
Or order your pizza.
I just
Free
put him in timeout for 300 seconds. Go sit in the corner.
free pizza.
I mean, my information's on my eBay.
So,
Like, it's public, so...
But anyways, I just think that this is going to be a good year for me. I think it should be a good year for all of us. You know, once we get this COVID thing behind us, it was only supposed to be 2 weeks to stop the spread or whatever it was called. Now we're on
nearly a
month 9
year.
or month 10. Yeah. But I'm just glad we're opened up here, man. You don't have to wear a mask. Everything's open for business, and that's
Florida,
why a lot
right?
of people are moving down here.
I'm petrified because I get married this year in Cyprus, so I'm really scared that that's going to.
I've had it 3 times. After the first time, you don't even have an effect. From my experience, after the first time I had a little bit lightheaded, a lot of vertigo, and then really exhaustion, a lot of exhaustion. Second and third time, I was passed on with my girlfriend's son. Never felt anything.
You
Had a positive test. I never got tested, but I never had anything. So for me, it's like I think if you have it once, you're immune to it the second, third, whatever you time after it.
I'm just worried that the airports are going to close down and I'm not going to be able to go abroad and get married.
They've not even
They're doing
like
crazy things over there. They're talking about a second, third strain, and it's almost like it's becoming dystopian. It's like, man, come on, open everything up for business. We need to get these small businesses back and open because Amazon and Walmart's crushing these small businesses. It's not fair for them.
I'm going to have to start thinking about going soon because I have borrowed this room.
From where?
Shooting off.
how long we been live? 2 hours nearly. Okay.
2 hours, yeah.
I mean, we can call that. I'm just gonna be here waiting for my pizza to arrive.
I doubt you're going to get one.
We'll see.
Do you guys know how to revise listing as Raw Mail have changed prices? You can revise them in bulk if you want. Just go on to your...
Can you up them by percentage?
Yeah, you can.
So you can do like if Royal Mail's gone up 10%, you can bump all of them.
Yeah, you can. I think you can if you...
You can. I do that all the time. Yeah, I always like bulk editing, especially on like promoted listings, or shipping. Like it was so much quicker. Bulk listing when I had to change everything. Like, so what I did was I would go by keyword. So I would search sport or blazers and then suits, right? And I would go off and say, okay, Kevin, I know it's going to be, if I go ship it off the West Coast, $9.99 for blazers. So all 100 and something of my blazers got changed from calculated to $9.99 shipping. So for me, bulk editing is like 100,000 times quicker than having to edit 1,300 listings individually.
Yeah.
That's annoying and time consuming.
All right. Well,
Right, is everyone... thank you for coming on. Do you want to plug anything, Kev?
I'm going to start making videos again. I'm also going to make a second channel for reselling on different platforms. And then this one's going to be more for lives. The Thrifting Lounge will be more for lives again. I think because I have an old account, and I think the way to get a handle on getting more views is starting a new channel and keeping it a non-live. I think lives hurt my channel a lot. So that's what I'm going to be doing. My second channel is going to be called Reselling Lounge. I have the Thrifting Lounge. I'll be where my lives are. And then I think I'm going to do a weekly or a daily cool little different type of interviews. It'll be like 10-question interviews, like a flash 10-second interview. Yeah. That's going to be less than 5 minutes for people. So like it's going to be set questions, 10 questions. I'm going to cut it all down to a 5-minute video. Because for my attention span, I can only sit down and watch 15-minute or less videos. I can't sit down and watch videos that are over an hour or 2 hours because it's just time consuming. Plus I like watching everybody's videos. So like right now I'm watching this guy he's kind of blown up a little bit. He's getting more views than he did before. eBay Posh Man. He's really good at going around to like do retail arbitrage on shoes. Like, and he also like, hey, pick these up. Right next he'll put a slideshow of what sells for. So I find that's helped me on my research in shoes. And he's a small channel. But I think I like his, it's like you have your way of your videos, right? Your what's that called? Style.
Yeah.
Right? And I think YouTube loves it when you have one specific style. His style is more of going to these stores, literally showing you the shoe and then the sale price on there. That's what I go to his store, his YouTube channel for. So when you start thinking like a viewer, your channel when you do YouTube becomes better, because then you start picking up on, okay, if this guy's channel blew up, this is probably why. Because number one, he's consistent with what he does, shoes, reselling, and then you're not changing it. So like, I'm not doing dumpster diving with my reselling channel. I'm doing reselling with reselling, because the algorithm you're gonna mess up. Algorithm's like, oh, what do you mean? You just told me you were reselling shoes. Now you're over here dumpster diving. I don't know which one you want. What viewers do you want? But the algorithm's changed so much since I left. It was never like this.
Yeah.
The algorithm was just like, made a video and I use keywords, get a good bump. Now it's like you have to have specificality. Like, so like you like to go to thrift stores and you're in the UK. That's your style. That's your niche. YouTube's gonna love that.
I don't believe that's gonna work for me. I really just enjoy just.
Huh?
I think people just subscribe to me because I like to feel like I give relative.
Yes, but you got to get people to come to you. How are they going to find you if you're doing all sorts of things and not one specific thing?
If everybody found
like, if I said I'm going to do a YouTube, this is how I learn, because this is the experience I've had, and the videos I watch is all this stuff. So like, if I have a reselling YouTube channel, right, and the algorithm loves that, then all of a sudden I start doing my woodworking YouTube in the same category, right? Who's my audience? Messing the algorithm up. You got to know who your audience is. That's the biggest thing that YouTube wants you to know is, give us, dumb down to your audience. We're going to give you viewers. We're going to give you more viewers. Once you hit a specific amount, we're going to give you a bigger bump. Like, I think that's why Jay's getting bigger bumps, because he's doing, number one, consistent. Number two, he's got a style. People like his style, so people keep coming back to him. So the more he keeps doing the same thing, the more YouTube's going to keep throwing him 500 more viewers each time. So 1,000 more viewers, 1,500, 2,000, till he gets a huge channel, because people are on his channel longer. Number one, people are liking it. Number two, comments are huge for your channel. So you're feeding the algorithm. You know what I mean? So like, I'm not feeding the algorithm if I'm going to add woodworking to which I am planning on doing a woodworking channel. Because I think it's fun and I love watching woodworkers refinish furniture. And I think I have a little bit more experience with YouTube, so I think I know how I can get it right into that niche, and kind of like what Harry Tornado did, where he got into a niche and people started following him. So just got to have a style and stick with it. You can't go outside that style. YouTube's not going to like it.
Right. Well, that guy's back being a tit in the chat again, so a good time to end the stream. Thank you for coming on, Kev. I do appreciate it. We'll probably get you back on at some point in the future. And I think Joe has to give back the room to whoever's the owner of that room. So thank you everyone, all you people sellers. Nice English, mate. I think you need to go back to school. Is lie. Even that George Ross guy. I hate you people. Robin from the charities. Okay. We're charity
Who's
robbers.
George Ross?
I don't even see these. I can't see these.
He's another English YouTuber.
I think I'm blocked.
Well, he hates me, Joe, and George Ross. So we're in good company. So there we go. We'll just carry on. It's fine, Valdis. We've all quit our jobs to do something that's a lie and earns us no money. So
that we have fun doing.
Yeah, we'll be on benefits very soon, according to
in
you.
all fairness, this video is monetized, so you're technically paying us to be here.
Well, I have like six.
Yeah. Hey, the longer you stick around watching us, the more it's gonna help him.
Yeah, drop a like or dislike. It helps me out either way.
It doesn't matter. They all count as the same. A dislike and a like.
George Ross is fab and successful, says it all. But if he's gonna come hate on all of us, that's fine. I don't care. I've dealt with people hating on me. I used to do gaming content, mate. That's the worst content for getting hated on. So I'm well used to it. I don't care. If it's fake, I'll go bankrupt and I'll be living on the street. So we'll see who's winning in a year's time, shall we? Right. End of the stream. Thank you everyone for being here. And you all claiming universal credit. Unemployed bunch. Oh, don't delete. I was trying to read that.
So listen, whoever these two haters are, you can hate all you want. This
It's
has
only
been
one.
happening since the beginning of time. You're not changing anyone else's ways. We're not going to get off this and be upset. You know what? If anything, we're going to get a big laugh on your expense, and you're going to look like the idiot. So, of course, I always tell people, thanks for coming by. And if you want to drop a dislike, it only helps you.
I like the haters. They fuel my... The haters fuel motivation more than anyone.
I love it.
Because they're gonna hate you if you fail or you succeed. If I quit, if I end the stream and I start crying and I quit, they're gonna hate me for it and they're gonna laugh. If I go from here and grow even more, they're gonna hate me even more. And it's, you know what I always say, I get gratification from knowing that someone hates me so much. Every time I do something, they come watch it. They come spend their time and waste their time watching it. I love it. It's great.
I have helps you. Right, I didn't take a move because.
Okie dokie. To be honest, I think it's just a trolling, but.
They are.
It's probably just a 10-year-old.
They found you somehow, and then just troll them. I'll be gone.
Wow. Anyway.
Thank you, everyone. And we will be back next Sunday. And we would have earned more money than this Valdi guy in the next week. So we'll see you guys there. Thank you for watching. Bye.